plane. I'm not a huge fan of airplanes. I have a slight fear of flying. However, because I am going to university in England, I will have to fly sometimes. Usually to get home during like Christmas and Easter. I am lucky because my flight is only an hour to 45 minutes. I went to visit my university 2 weeks ago and I chose the very worst week ever to fly. I chose the week in which 3 airplanes crashed. And for somebody with a fear of flying, that isn't ideal at all. This afternoon, a flight will land carrying bodies of those who died in the Ukraine. Again, this is the 3rd flight with bodies. We as a country, as the Netherlands, are still in shock. So the week in which I started getting over my fear of flying is also the week the planes crashed more than usual. But I discovered that as much as I hate traveling, the people I meet while traveling are amazing. It's interesting to meet people who are so different from what I am. While I was waiting in Amsterdam to get aboard my plane, I got into a conversation with a guy from South Korea who was going to a university there to present his master thesis. This was a guy who was doing a trip through the whole of Europe after he went to England. And for me, going to Europe is quite normal because I live there. But for others, it's such an exotic thing. While on board on the plane, I sat next to a girl from England who just came back from doing volunteer work in Ecuador, who planted the trees there and did probably some other stuff. On the other side of me was a Norwegian man who was going to London to visit his wife who was having eye surgery. And this man had been in the military and was a helicopter pilot. And he noticed my fear of flying. He saw me gripping the armrest while we were descending, and he proceeded to show me pictures of everywhere he'd been. So I've seen pictures of Iraq and Afghanistan and Italy and like pictures from helicopters, and it was really cool. On my flight back from England to the Netherlands, I sat next to a man from Zimbabwe. He had been living in England for a few years now, but he was going back to see his best friend getting married. And it's amazing what stories people can tell if you travel and if you just say hi to people. As much as I dislike airplanes and I don't like the feelings they give me, I like the way people interact when they travel. Because I am usually not the one to say hello to people. While traveling, many people are lonely, and it's always good to meet somebody who you can talk to. So no, I'm not quite over my fear of flying, and it still scares me to death to know that there are bodies coming home because of an airplane crash. But I'm getting better. I'm getting better.